What's going on, Tiger fans? My name's Eric Trosclair with Eye on the Tigers. Welcome to the first episode of the 2025 football season. So if you're new here, what we do is we review the last game as well as preview the upcoming game for the LSU Tigers. So let's get into it, right? Prime time, LSU versus Clemson, week one. Nuss steps up big time, right? Exactly what you need from him. 28 completions, 230 yards, and one big touchdown. Caden Durham, man, steps up for the Tigers yet again, keeps the momentum rolling from last season. 17 carries, 74 tough yards, one touchdown on the day. And who else steps up to lead the wide receiver room but Double A, number one, Aaron Anderson. 6 catches, 99 yards. And Trey'Dez Green, 2 catches, 17 yards, and a touchdown catch. A big red zone threat right there, right? Just what we need. So on the defensive side of the ball, somebody that stepped up big time and really made a name for himself this offseason, PJ Woodland. PJ had a massive offseason, really came on late for the Tigers. Personally, that's my MVP. This is exactly what you need, right? Somebody from the secondary is going to step up big time for the Tigers. So another guy that stepped up big time is Wes Weeks, right? Wes had a great game on Saturday against Clemson. And how could we forget, last but certainly not least in this trio, Harold Perkins Jr., right? Number 7, steps up big time. Big time moments make big time players, and that's exactly what happened. He stepped up when you need him, right? So another guy, Mansour Delane, really made a name for himself. Transfer out of Virginia Tech. He really made some big plays for you, in the secondary. Another guy who LSU got out of the transfer portal that I am a big fan of, because over the last few seasons at the punting position, it's kind of been a little bit of a question mark for the Tigers. But Grant Chadwick steps up. I mean, he could pin opponents. He could directional kick, anything you need. You don't have to worry about the punting position as long as Grant is back there. So a trio, and I'm going to throw a fourth guy in here that I think we're going to see LSU manufacture touches for these guys. Zevion Thomas, Jawan Johnson, and Barry and Brown, right? If it's quick screen plays, quick developing routes, or even getting them some handoffs out of the backfield. And another guy I'm going to throw in there is Trey'Dez Green. As we saw, Trey'Dez is a big-time red zone threat. So those 4 guys, Zevion Thomas, Jawan Johnson, Barry and Brown, and Trey'Dez Green, I think we're going to see LSU manufacture touches for these guys big time in the upcoming games. So my game ball is going to go to defensive coordinator Blake Baker. Guys, think back a few seasons ago where this LSU defense was, right? There's no way LSU defense a few years ago would have shut down Kate Klubnik the way that they did on Saturday. And you can't help but thank Coach Blake Baker for that. Another thing, too, that I'm really liking about this LSU defense is it's finally back to those hard-nosed, those hard-hitting LSU defenses that we're always so used to watching, Another thing, too, think back 15, 20 years ago, right? The defensive line was 8, 9 deep. You had, at the times of Glenn Dorsey, Marlon Favorite, these guys were rotating in. You had a big rotation. You haven't seen that at LSU in 15 years, and finally we're back there. Finally, we're back to smash mouth, hard nose, punch them out in the mouth football. And that's what we saw Saturday. And I am so pumped up that the LSU football that we know, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is back, baby. So that's all for Clemson. Let's go on to Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech took on the Southeastern Lions last weekend and shut them out by a score of 24-0. Can the Tigers keep the momentum going, right? Can they keep it rolling in this game? Can they put their foot on the pedal and keep it down, right? You can't gain much from a game like this if you're the Tigers. 37-point favorite, depending on what book you look at. So there's not really anything they could do in this one that could convince you anymore, right? But I think a dominant victory would be massive for LSU, right? Like I said, get your foot down on the pedal early and do not let up. I would like to see personally, some of your backups, some guys that maybe aren't going to get a ton of playing time, get some valuable game reps, right? Michael Van Buren, it would be fun to watch him early and often. Um, like I said, man, some guys in the secondary, get them some reps everywhere. Caleb Jackson out of the backfield, let him get some reps, let him get some confidence. That's big for these guys. So another thing too, Louisiana Tech is a strong running game, not so much of a strong passing game. And they do have a dual threat quarterback. And we all know how much dual threat quarterbacks have gave LSU fits over the last few seasons. So this is the Louisiana Tech team. The Bulldogs have nothing to lose and would love to come in here and play spoiler. Would love to come in here and compete, right? That's what it's all about. So if you're LSU, come out, punch them out in the mouth early, be dominant, and let's give our guys, our studs, an extended rest, heading into next week. So fun fact for you guys that I found about this Louisiana Tech LSU series is Louisiana Tech's only win versus LSU came in the 1904 season by a score of 6-0. So the fun fact about the 1904 season is LSU was 3-4 that season. So 3 wins, 4 losses. The 3 wins all came by shutting out opponents. The 4 losses were all games that LSU got shut out in. So I just thought that was a pretty cool fact, pretty fun fact for you guys. So check us out at Be in the Know on all your favorite social platforms. This is Eye on the Tigers. I'm Eric Trosclair. Have a good day. Go Tigers.